Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the What the Football channel. This is the BH and Scrubber Show. On today's show, we're going to be covering the Commanders versus the Eagles in a preview show that we have today. Just a little housekeeping. Tomorrow, that'll be Sunday, October 1st at 1 o'clock. We will be doing a live reaction show here on the What the Football channel. I call play by play. BH gets into the chat room. If you don't get the game, come here and listen to me call it. If you do get the game, turn off the volume to that game and listen to me call the game. And we always have a great time. So we are up against the Eagles. They're a tough team. BH, I know they got a great offense, and I think our defense has some counters to them. So what do you think?
Yeah, it's going to be very similar to last week. It's a big challenge on both sides of the ball. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, for their offense, Jalen Hurts is more of a two-way guy running and passing, more so than Josh Allen. But Josh Allen burned us on the ground. 3 big runs. And so I think a big thing is containing him. He's not quite the passer. He's got good receivers. He's got good tight end. But I think if you can put pressure on him, he'll make more mistakes, I think, than someone like Josh Allen. But he's really good. No two ways about it. He can chuck the rock. He can do a good job. Their running back, Swift, is when he was with Detroit, I felt like we never saw anything good out of him. Yet he was a great college player, and Detroit, let him go, man. And I tell you, Philadelphia picked him up. He looks like an All-American. He's looking really good. I mean, literally better than any of the backs. Even though Cook for Buffalo roasted us, he's really good. Now, I felt like our front four didn't do bad, but I think they underperformed for who they are. Mm-hmm. I mean, let's face it. You got 4 first-rounders. They are going to need in this game to dominate with 4. Obviously the linebackers, the safeties, they're going to get their help. But in the run game and the pass game, they really do have to step up big time in this game. We don't need to have a bunch of extra guys coming up in the box to help them out. We really need our guys to be able to play back in coverage, some help up on the line. But those 4 guys have to step up, especially, Chase Young is doing pretty good, got a pretty decent rating, but he's not balanced in his run stopping and his pass rushing. Mm-hmm. Pass rushing numbers high, run stopping not bad, but a little bit low. Like he needs to bring that up. So I really think that it's really contingent on those 4 guys getting after it, just the 4 of them, which is easier said than done, because Eagles have a good front line. There's no two ways about it. It's a really good front line, pass blocking and run blocking. And I just think if they can do that, our DBs are pretty talented. They've got talented receivers, but I think our guys can stay with them. But if there's no pressure, that's going to be bad. And also if they let Jalen Hurts out and he's going to run wild, that won't work. So anyway, that's kind of it. I mean, I don't want to put the onus on just those 4 guys, but it's really incumbent upon them. And then one thing to remember, too, as bad as the Buffalo game was, we kept Josh Allen at a QB rating of 79.
Yeah, below 80.
He didn't throw the ball like crazy. He had 1 touchdown, but he had 1 interception. Mm-hmm. Great play by Kendall Fuller. Mm-hmm. So, we can control quarterbacks. So, yeah. But what do you think now on the flip side? Now, what is our offense going to do with that against that good Eagles defense?
Well, I let me just say a little bit about that offense that they got. You're correct. It's going to be hard for us to stop the run. I think a 5-man line would be helpful just every now and then when it's going to be a run. It's really going to behoove Jamin Davis and
Cody
Barton really
Yep.
they're going to try and pick us apart over the middle, either through dump offs or the Eagles are going to throw those screenplays. They're going to try and and they got Dallas Goddard is really good. I think they're going to try and kill us over the middle. One of the things we have to watch for, uh, you know, DeAndre, who is it, Smith, and who's their other guy? Who's their other receiver? AJ
Oh,
Brown.
AJ Brown. Yeah.
Right. We can't let them get
Yeah.
by us like we let Mims do in that Denver game. That's the only real thing. We can't let those big plays happen. Got to make turnovers
Yeah.
happen. You know, their offense is really good. They got a stout front line. They run the ball a lot. You know, they got you hear about the Kelsey and the two the left right guard, right tackle. They like to run in that direction, and some of their guys are still kind of sick, so hopefully we can take advantage of some of that as well. Yeah, and as far as like their defense is concerned, they got a really good defense too. I mean, some of their guys are sick on that side too. Their safeties are sick, but they got a monster defensive line. Lord, that rookie kid that they got, Jalen Carter, and that Davis guy, he's as big as a house. Fletcher Cox, obviously.
Yeah.
They're just monster. They got a good rush, and they'll bull rush us, and so we really need to. Bieniemy's going to have to dial up some kind of gameplay against them and give our Howell some relief there. So yeah, we can make it happen. You want to control the ball, get down the field, make sure those red zones count. Try and chew up some clock. Don't let them have the ball too much. You can't keep the ball. It's kind of weird. It's one of those things. It's the longer you have the ball, the more accidents can happen.
That's
you know
true.
what I'm saying? And so they'll be looking for that. They'll just be waiting and waiting and waiting for him to, get pressured and throw an interception. And the other thing too is they're going to be chomping at the bit, just like we said for the Bills game. They're going to be chomping at the bit because they think they got a mark here that they can sack all the time, and so we got to do something about that. EB's going to have to dial up that game plan and make it happen.
Yeah, I think you're right. And they're going to have to, I think, attack all parts of the field where there's, like you said, even if it's a jet sweep, bubble screen, even Howell, just have him, load up the right side, go trips right in the shotgun, and then just have him go left and run, get 7 yards, get 5 yards, force those guys to chase them, put that in their brain. Every kind of a different screen. I mean, throw everything out there so that they just can't come down the tunnel every single time. So yeah, but yeah, you're right. They do have to control the ball, and just I guess the big thing is really Bieniemy's got to design a good game for Sam in the offense, and Sam really does have to do a better job of getting rid of that ball.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you one thing, man. If you got a quarterback who just is scared and runs every time and just chucks the ball out, that's hard to train that guy. That's like a spooked horse.
Mm-hmm.
Once a quarterback's that way, dude, there's not much you can do with it. But a guy like Howell, who is tough in the pocket and is waiting for guys to get open and gets hit, well, you can train that guy because that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? So you can kind of train him and show him in film work. Hey, look, here's exactly where you should have gone. I mean, I saw a couple of times when he did have the hot read to a running back. Now, it wasn't a big play, but the read was right there, and he took the sack. And I know it would have only gained 2 yards, but that's how you have to think of it. You just can't hold on to it for 6 seconds. So anyway, I'm sure he knows that. It's just instinctual with him. It's in his gut. So I think a combination of him being smarter, Bieniemy drawing up a better offense to attack with, we should be okay.
Yeah, he needs to. one of the things I'm afraid of, and this happens to people, is that with Howell, that he's nervous now. He's taking all these sacks. He feels like there's pressure on him to produce, and just that inner, conversation that he has with himself might drive him to be a little reckless. Oh, now, continuing to do what he was doing, trying to make the play instead of checking down to Gibby coming out of the thing. So hopefully they can work that out of him. And hopefully he learns they talk about the game slowing down for you. I really hope that they worked on some of that this week. Let the game slow down for him. Look at your first read, go to your check down. Fuck it. If you got to go to the check down, go to the check down. I think we can, with these guys, the way they play their secondary, I think we can take advantage of the seam, take advantage of the slants a little bit this week than we had available last week. And I'd like to see the screen game run a little bit more. So, and a little bit more misdirection as well. I don't think we utilized motion as much as I thought we could have, or a jet sweep here or there. And obviously try and get the run game's going to be hard to get going, but I think that'll give him some relief too. The run game was really good. B-Rob really had it going for a while there. He was breaking them off. It was funny. I saw a stat that we stopped the run game like midway through the third quarter. It was all passing after that, and it wasn't necessary. It really wasn't necessary. It was only 16-0 still in the third quarter. And why you would suddenly get spooked and just go, because teams who are falling behind in the fourth quarter will pass. And I didn't think we were quite to that point in the game. And I think they let up on the run game just a little too soon.
Yeah, I agree. And especially when it was pretty successful.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we should use it's a 60-minute game. Use all 60 minutes of those. Don't play conservative, but know that you have 4 quarters. And also to take the points. That's another one. We kind of went, the one week we went on 4th down and it worked. So we're all happy. And then the one week then it doesn't work. Oh, now all of a sudden we're saying, oh, you should have gone for the field goal. You know what I mean? Me, I'm always for taking the fucking field goal every single time. Now, I put up with it the one week because it was good, but I'm going back to my take the points. Also, to let punting work in your favor as well. So, go ahead.
Yeah, we got a good punter. Yeah, they did that. That was one thing. That was one of Howell's interceptions. It was like 3rd and 19. I forget. We were at the 40-ish, 45. So, and they looked like they were throwing to get the first down, and the linebacker dropped in and snagged that ball. And I was thinking more or less, and that would have been nice. That was a low percentage play. You could have rolled him out and just needed 10 more yards, and they would have conceded 10 yards easy, since we needed 19, and then give Joey Sly a better chance. And so then it was a total disaster because, you threw the interception. Mm-hmm. So I just thought that was just getting
we had a guy coming out into the flat, and he tried to force the ball, and we had a guy wide open in the flat, and it would have gave us the 8 to 10 yards that we needed. So that's one of them check down things. Him trying to force the ball, trying to do the big thing instead of fuck that. Look at how Brady did it all his life, man. Check down, over the middle, 10, 5, 7. That's what you need to do. Just get the game rolling. Actually, in that first quarter, we had a couple good runs. We had some really good looking stuff down there.
Yeah.
We just shot ourselves in the foot. So.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. So now on the flip side, we've got I'm trying to think. I think the game basically is going to be in the trenches.
Yeah.
We could talk about the DBs. We talk about all the skill set and everything, but on both sides of that ball, it's going to be tough. I think that we can't especially on the road, to let them get ahead. And we've been bad about that. Mm-hmm. Coming from behind, especially on the road, it's tough. Yeah. You get 10 or 13 points behind in Philadelphia. That'll be brutal.
Yeah.
So.
I agree. It's going to be a tough game, but it's winnable. All games are winnable. Our guys can, you never know. Maybe they have the killer bounce back game. The Eagles, they're not infallible. So I think we got a chance.
I do too. I noticed Logan Thomas will be back,
Yes,
but that our I think his name, what was it, Rodriguez,
he's out.
our running back. Yeah, I think. See, there's another illness.
Yeah, he's illness.
So he
Yeah,
was with. Yeah. So I mean, and they had their fair share over there. So that's always going to be around. Cold and flu and whatnot. So,
yeah,
um,
yeah. They got a few
but
guys that are hobbling a little bit. Their injury list was pretty long. Their two safeties, or I think one of their safeties is actually out. So they're going to a backup
okay,
safety. We can take advantage of that. Some of their
good.
linemen were knee and groin or something. So that's slightly helpful. I don't wish ill will on anybody, but if they're playing at 85, 90, 95%, let's hopefully that, you only need that teeny tiny bit to win games. And so let's hopefully we can take advantage of that. So I see the boys going there and they got a chance to win. I'm really going to be pulling for them. So I think they got it.
Yep. Yep. And they have to play better after last week. I imagine they'll be pretty focused and ready to go.
Yeah, if they don't, man, the mainstream media is going to come down on them. Well, luckily, I think, like you said before, that we're not high on the list of people to shit on. So you got Denver and
Yeah.
the Bears and some of these tank bowls coming up. So we're pretty much out of the limelight.
Yeah.
And to lose to a team like the Bills, the Bills are good. If we expect to have a 9-8 record, well, you got to lose somewhere. You know what I mean? And they're an
Yep.
AFC team. We really, this is a more critical kind of game because it's in your conference and it's definitely in your, uh, with, in our, whatever it is,
Division.
our division.
Yeah.
So,
In our division. Yeah.
yeah, it's helpful. All right. We think we got everything or we need to cover more or,
Man, I think that's it, man. It's like you say, we got to bring the heat. Can't go in there just, you know, half-assing it. I mean, they got to bring everything.
they
So it's
got
a
to bring the
short
heat.
trip.
Yep.
Yep. It's a short trip. They're not going cross country.
Hmm.
So they should be ready. And they know the Eagles. The Eagles know them and vice versa. We know them. So
It's not like going across country, but it is like going to a third world. So
that's
go to
true. That's
Philadelphia.
true. Going to Philadelphia. You're right, man.
All right. Well, that just
Unbelievable.
about covers it, folks. We
Okay.
appreciate y'all being here and tune in tomorrow's show, and we're gonna see what happens.
Yep. See you tomorrow in the live stream.